Hi, everybody. I am Jim Wanzeck with RE/MAX Masters Millennium, and here at the headquarters at RE/MAX Masters Millennium, and we are in the Mount Elbert studio, one of our newest additions that we really have. And what we like to do is have our agents kind of talk about the experience at RE/MAX Masters. And I'm here today with Bill Maher. He has been with us for 30 days. It took me 7 months to get this guy to come over. He is such a dynamo that, it was a tough decision because he made a transition from commercial to residential and really excited about the opportunity. And Bill, I want to, first of all, say hi. How are you doing today?
Well, Jim, thank you very much for setting this up and bringing me in to sit down with you and have a little one-on-one time. And it's been quite a month.
Yes.
I mean, it has been to think about it, it's 1 month today.
Right.
Today's Friday, and it was just, after 7 months of talking with you and just talking about just where I was in my business and where I wanted to go in my business.
Right.
And then just what what you had and the capabilities here in your office is, and the value add that I could bring to my business to raise it to the next level is really how, month after month after month that we talked, and I learned more about what you have, and then also a lot about, I learned you and I got to be pretty close and
Absolutely.
got to know you and your background and where you are. That just brought me to the comfort level of saying, let's rock and roll and let's just go ahead and let's move forward. And it's a new year, it's 2021, and
Right.
It's time to move forward and do it.
Well, I'll tell you, Steve Burtis was one of my best friends for a long time, and we owned this building together, but he also had a great business and moved right down the street because he wanted a better return on investment. We're always talking about that value add, and, that's one of the special things about our business is that we're here to help our clients, and, our clients give us back, but we also are always, what can we do for you? So would you expand on that? Because you talk about that a lot with me.
Well, my philosophy has always been I've been in the real estate market here in the Denver market it's been 24 years.
Yeah.
And I have the philosophy, it's my clients come first.
Mm-hmm.
And I joke around with a lot of my clients to say, you better be careful what you ask for because the answer is going to be yes. And they are the number one priority on how I conduct my prospecting, how I conduct my negotiating, how I go ahead and do site selects to find the homes that they're looking for. And
Right.
really, so when I came here and when I learned about what you have, it just, number one is the environment. I mean, that is really the number one thing that brought me in here.
Mm-hmm.
It's the culture around the office. It's a very friendly, but it's a focused environment that we are here, and all the agents you have. It's a lively. Everyone shares. The camaraderie is around, but it's everybody. Everyone wants to help each other, but they're focused. We're here to take care of our people.
Yeah.
And so between all the different lines of businesses that you have here, between the capabilities of doing insurance, doing property management, doing transaction management, doing commercial opportunities if someone has a commercial need, that can all be taken care of here in-house. So it's more of a full-service
Right.
company, which that's the type of person I am, and that was one of the main draws of why I came on over.
Well, one of the things that really stuck in my mind is we have our classes on Wednesday, and we had like 47 people just talking about clauses and how the market is today. And one of the things that you said to me is that, what? At my old office, I would have never been able to do that. People here just have a sharing component to their business, that they're here to try and help each other. And I really love that because that's all my DNA is about.
Well, the answer is yes, what you just said. And I agree with everything you said there. And it's just for me now to be part of, this is my 4th week, to be on 4 Wednesday meetings that we had. It's just the amount of the participation
Right.
of people that don't just show up, but they actually participate on the calls. And now because of COVID, it's all done virtually. But people have their cameras on, and they're actually interacting with one another and bouncing ideas off of each other with all the names and all the people on the screens. That I will tell you that 2 of the closings that I had last week, I had 3 closings last week.
Right.
That 2 of them, I will contribute the successful closing on things that I definitely picked up on on the Wednesday calls.
Well, but it also is that, opportunities that come up. So, hey, I'm going to start to do this. And then all of a sudden it leads to a transaction. And that's really what those calls are for, too, is that, we're really constantly focusing on our clients and how can we share that? Because people say, hey, if you do a lot of in-house deals, are you potentially not exposing it to the market? And I said, hey, our agents are just as experienced, our clients will pay just as high of a price as any bird in the market. So I don't think that has really any effect at all, except walking down the hall and doing a deal with somebody that you really know. That actually, in my mind, helps the seller too.
Well, it certainly does. And that was a closing that you and I had last week.
Yeah.
That I represented the buyer, you had the seller, and we went ahead and it was the best of both worlds, and it worked out great for everybody.
Right.
But one particular example that I will share that contributed to really getting one of my other deals done last Thursday was when we had the conversation about what do you do when you're representing a buyer in this super competitive Denver real estate market that we're in right now, and you're competing against 18 other offers, which more than half of them are cash.
Right.
How can we differentiate ourselves in the market? And as I listened to some of your folks, some of the seasoned senior folks, men and women that were sharing their experience of being out, trudging in this business, what they're using, different tricks of the trade that they're using to be able to have their offer stand out above the others. And one of them was in regards to a non-refundable earnest money.
Yeah.
And that is something that I used with a client of mine that we competed against. We were offer number 18.
Right.
There were 17 other offers. We came in and we gave a portion of our earnest, not all of it,
right.
A portion of it was non-refundable, and we got the deal.
Yeah.
And it was just great. And the feedback that I received from the listing agent, she said, how the heck did you think to go ahead and do that? She said, you were the only person that did that, and they had all the offers coming in. It was under contract within 12 hours,
right.
And we stood out from the rest. And I'll tell you, Jim, I would have never done that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well,
I wouldn't even have done it
yeah.
if I didn't have that idea or that was shared to me
right.
to go ahead and add this into my, because everyone's using the same appraisal gaps,
right.
everyone's using the same stuff, but that was just something extra that just got us over the tipping point.
Right.
And then, it was 14 days later, we're sitting in the title company and we closed the deal. It was
right.
just great. And my clients were pumped.
Yeah.
I mean, they were to see, the emotions pour out of them, and tears were really
right.
coming out on happy they were to go ahead and get this, and we got it. And that makes me feel good.
Yeah, it sure
does. It just, and that's why I'm in this business. Jim mentioned that I came over from the commercial side. I started in the commercial at the beginning of my career. When I was 22 years old, I started in the Denver market on the commercial side, and just about 3 years ago, I made the transition into the residential side. And I look at the residential business now, guys, and I think that, and I told you this, Jim, many times before, I should have done this 15 years ago.
It's a blast.
It is fun.
Yes.
It's exciting. And I told many of my buddies yesterday when I was with them for lunch, and I just said, I never thought I would say this, but I love selling homes.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole entire package of just how you get to know the families so well. You see their emotions, you see where their motivations are, and you're working with the kids and working with the adults, and it's just it's all me.
Yeah.
And I love it, and it's exciting. And when I wake up in the morning, and I'm an early morning guy, I mean, I'm up at 5 a.m. in the morning. It's for the last month being here at the new office, I'm pumped to get in.
Well, I'll tell you, your attitude is contagious, because I've done more business just because I'm around you. So, and that's what it really helps in our office. But I want to switch gears a little bit. I want to kind of tell us about you. Tell us about your DNA. I know that you're a hard-charging guy, but you got 2 boys and all of that good stuff. You go hunting, and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I will tell you, I originally grew up on the East Coast. I came out to Colorado to go to college when I was 18, came on out, and I went to school up in Gunnison at Western State College up in Gunnison, Colorado, lived in Crested Butte there for a few years. Immediately after I graduated, I moved to Vail, and I was in the hotel business in Vail, which within several months of living in the Vail Valley, I was immediately drawn to the real estate business. That is where it all started.
Okay.
And that's when I went ahead and I went off on my own and got my real estate license. And so that is how it all began up in Vail. And then through different relationships that I met up in Vail, that one thing led to another, and connecting the dots, because relationships, I am convinced, is the key component to this business. I moved to Denver and came on down to Denver when I was 22, and immediately got brought on into a firm and just started rocking and rolling from there. So we have two sons, two teenage sons now. One is a senior at Cherry Creek High School.
Yep.
And then my little guy, who's not so little anymore, he's a lot bigger than I am, he's going to be a freshman at Cherry Creek High School next year. And yeah, we do enjoy the outdoors. We ski a ton. We mountain bike a ton. We work hard and we play hard.
Yes.
And it's always been that way. We fish all the time. And it's something that when I talk to all my buddies all over the country, I mean, we are very fortunate to live in the city and in the area that we live in.
Right.
To be able to sit here, we live in Englewood, which we live 5 minutes away from the office. We're right up the street.
Yep.
And it's it's just who we are. I work hard and play hard, take care of my people, and we're very involved in our church community.
Good.
And that's something that's very important to us. And we and business comes out of that as well.
Of course.
I mean, it does.
Helping people is helping
yeah.
people from all walks of life.
Right. And it's so it's exciting. I mean, what you see is what you get from me.
Yes.
I like to say I'm not a fancy guy. I'm a simple man, and I use simple words.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, what number would you give them?
The number,
Okay.
which I don't make it complicated.
Right.
But the number always is 303-668-8085. 303-668-8085. That is my cell number. That is the number. And that is, the cell phone number I've had for all my entire career.
Right.
And that's it. When people want to talk to me about what's going on in the market, people want to talk to me about certain neighborhoods that I'm involved in, whether I sold a home in, or I have 3 active farming neighborhoods that I do here in the Denver area, and one in Castle Rock, which I'm the neighborhood guy.
Yeah.
And I'm the guy that comes around and drops off the information of what's going on, the trends in the neighborhood, the comps in the neighborhood. So I know many of the neighbors around, and they look at me and, they wave and say hi, and that's just the kind of guy I am.
Oh, and I really can attest to that, because you did a big, fairly large land deal recently, and all the neighbors knew you, and you did all your due diligence that really was a cut above, and I really commend you for doing that, because people understand that, and they want to talk about real estate. They want to understand real estate, and sometimes we're kind of looked at as the bad guys or the scary guys because we're trying to go get a commission. And you know what? You diffuse that really, really well, and I really appreciate. And I just can't tell you from the bottom of my heart that you have just improved our office. We have a great real estate community here, and there's just great things to come. I'm looking forward to many, many years of really enjoying and helping lots of folks in with you and in our office. So thanks so much, Bill.
Well, thank you, Jim. I appreciate the opportunity. I am proud to be part of this office and to be working with you. And so I'm glad to be here, man.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Well, cool.
So thank you.
Thank you.
You got it.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right.
Bye.
Back to our office. We will do many of these. I'm so excited that Bill is here. So thanks again. Tune in to next time. Thank you.